that, Mr. President, you do not have the power to remove a sitting governor, not even a councillor.
There's a serious siege over the northern politicians because all of them are now conversing like a witch. You know, I have seen a pattern now that most of all these Buhari's, should I say, mentees have now come out to attack Tinubu, attack anybody that does not align with them. In a recent breaking news, a very prominent minister of who was in Buhari's regime said that Tinubu wasn't the one who made Buhari the president. Hence, if the North actually betrays Tinubu for whatever reason, nobody should actually call them a betrayer. That what they have rightly done is simple, that they have the larger share of the vote, that the only thing Tinubu brought on board was just 3 million, right? And as for the North, they have the larger share of the votes. They had about 12 million. Hence, Tinubu was just an opportunist who tried to use Buhari as a stepping stone. And right now, he is the president. That instead, to turn the table, or on the contrary, it should be Tinubu who should be magnanimous, who should be sort of appreciative to the North, because without the North, his aspirations, his desires of ever becoming the president wouldn't have been possible. That either way, Buhari would have been the president. He could have aligned with the Igbos, he could have aligned with the South. You see, these elements who are, spewing dust, as the case may be, they are just carrying out their typical characteristics of the Konima die na Konima go bury am. These guys understand that Tinubu is at the brink. Buhari is at the brinks of going, right? He's at the brinks. You have to be fair. Probably they want to just remain relevant because they are seeing that, if Buhari my Tinubu will just crush all of us, because Tinubu will just start unpicking all of them. Is it Adeserika? Is it the guy Malami? Is it Boss Mustafa who said that word, that Tinubu wasn't the person who made Buhari the president, hence they will betray the Yorubas, right? These guys are all scared right now. Look at Lawal, the former chairman of APC. That one, we don't even know where he is. Maybe he don't jackpot. Nobody knows his whereabouts. Nobody knows. He has been silent. Nothing. Okay. If you look at the political arena, atmosphere, the politics, who are the people who have been running serious campaign of destructions, of calumny against the South, against Tinubu? They are not doing it to support another Southerner, right? Because if they were doing it, I would have supported them. And mind you, I am not saying Tinubu must continue. But Tinubu will continue if they not fail to support Peter Obi. Yes, I'm telling you. Because the Southern people will collectively come together, because the chicken will come home to roost. And they will accept that, no, we don't want a Northern person. There has been serious media campaign that Atiku and Obi, all of them, they are all sitting at the table. Everybody is having equal stakes and equal rights. There's no special person on the table. There's no special preference. But meanwhile, the chairman of the party is David Mark. The secretary of the party is not an Igbo man. He's a Yoruba man. The PRO of that party is a Yoruba man. I am trying to have a deep dive into the members of this party. Aside from Peter Obi, I have not seen any prominent Igbo man in that party. I haven't. Aside from Peter Obi, amongst those ones that just got unveiled, I have not seen any prominent Igbo man. Peter Obi seems to be a lone voice. All the Igbo politicians who have defected from APC, who in their numbers have left PDP, we don't know where they are. Instead, they are all going back to APC. Right? You can see that the movement is showing something that is very clear. that 2027 election is your own words as a Northern Fulani man versus your own words as a Southerner. Whether you're Yoruba, whether you're Igbo, because if you think you're an Igbo man and you are in the ADC, that your chances of winning the ticket is like 70 to 30. The North have 70, you have 30. Because amongst the kitchen cabinet, amongst the committee, amongst the excos, you must have your people there. That is, these are the people that will, of course, in their numbers, protect your interest. I haven't. I've been trying to search. I haven't. I don't know. Maybe I've not seen it. If you know, you can help me post their names. I'm trying to search it out. So you see, all these guys, all of them are now vocal, trying to, make reasons why they can grab power by 2027. They are not saying issues like Tinubu is a bad Southern president. We must replace it with another Southerner. No, they are saying that Tinubu is, after all, wasn't even at any point in time very pivotal to the success of Buhari. They're trying to prove a point that, listen, Tinubu, in the real sense of things, is inconsequential to the victory of Buhari. I'm not a fan of Buhari, of Tinubu, but I know what Tinubu did in 2015. As of 2019, when Tinubu even had an issue with Buhari, because that news went viral, and everybody knew that, man, these guys are not in good, they're not in good terms. Tinubu still said, okay, let me go and support him. Why? Because he felt, let me not come in and push a northerner out. He felt, let me just pull through, push this guy, let them complete their 8 years, right? And on the other side of the opposition, Atiku was there, right? Who won the election at the end of the day? It was Buhari that won because Tinubu helped him. Tinubu was more or less like the mouthpiece of Buhari. Tinubu was the one promising, we will turn $1 to $1. Those campaigns were, everybody knew what happened. Right? Everybody knew what happened. So this level of hypocrisy of the North, whereby they just want to ensure that they minimize the efforts of Tinubu and the South in making him the president, is just a smoke screen to make people now say, okay, if not even grab the power, no problem, let them, they can have it. But it's not gonna work. What did I say? I repeat, it is not gonna work. Because we in the South, we will not be the second fiddles. We won't be a second option. We have a gentlemanly agreement. Okay? And we will, either by hook or crook, ensure that if it's not a Peter Obi that is there, it is Tinubu that will be there. If any other southerner comes on board and it becomes popular, he can also be there. Okay? Atiku should just go and take a back seat. That man should go and retire, should go and rest. It's not his turn, it's not his time, he should go and rest. Give it a break. All these people now who are Buhari's former commissioners, ministers, special advisors, attorney general, all of them now have joined the ADC. Look at their numbers. How many Southerners, how many Southeasterners has joined ADC? These questions beg for an answer. When you have in a party, you have about, let's say in ADC as it stands today, we have about maybe 1,000 decampees from the north, right? Most especially from the northwest, who are largely Fulani headers, Fulani politicians, right? And you can hardly count 10 of the Igbo politicians that have migrated into ADC. Then you must understand that APC and ADC are going to have a two loggerheads. APC is a southern party and ADC has turned to a northern party. I don't know what miracle will happen, but that would be the best for the north. Let them see the ticket to Obi. They don't have to go for primaries. All those already they go for primaries now, just flimsy excuse so that by the time Obi loses, they'll say that after all we didn't, wasn't a consensus, it wasn't a setup, it was a primary. So we will go. right? So these are the issues. I mean, the last time we heard another Buhari's minister who came out to say that Tinubu is destroying the North, that Tinubu are decimating the North, that Tinubu is bringing division into the North, right? The last time we saw another Buhari's minister who went, no, so they are doing everything just to castigate this guy, and they are not doing it for the benefit of another Southerner. Now, what they bust my own head with that? If they're doing it for the benefit of another Southerner, perhaps they are propagating Peter Obi, Rotimi Amechi, these guys already. Then we can say, okay, fine, yeah, these guys, they are doing it for a good cause. No, they are doing it to grab their power back. They want to reverse so many of the policies, so many of the steps, so many of the actions, such as taxation. They just want to ensure that Tinubu gets the hell out, right? They want to ensure that their people begin to get the money that they enjoy. They want to ensure that, I mean, the CDS, who is a Christian, doesn't is not a Christian. They just want to reverse whatever wins Tinubu has in terms of politics, because Tinubu has no single win in economics, nothing. But in terms of politics, whereby he's trying to have people to have sense of regionalization, we can see that the Plateau people now are aligning with the Southwest, aligning with the Igbos. They are seeing themselves sort of different from the North because they have suffered that very brutal hegemony of the Fulani leaders, right? So they want to just reverse it. They want to ensure that they become, or they return to that level of influence that they have above everybody, right? Because they know that before 2027, this man, if Buhari buy, now serious matter. If Buhari buy, it's a serious issue. And this is why most of them and all of them are desperate. They just want to ensure that Tinubu gets kicked out and they return their father or their brother or whoever that will return them must have the Fulani interest at heart. Yes, that is their bargain. That is their deal. And I think the only reason why they have not come out to have a consensus with Peter Obi is probably because maybe Peter Obi has not gone to any written agreement with them. And I hope it doesn't. Because I understand that Obi has his eyes on the ball.
The Jonathan administration, I was the most demonized person. I was the public enemy number one. And there are two gentlemen seated here. Certain decisions are taken in a very rare peace cycle. The president, the vice president, the Senate president, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. In one of such conclaves, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, with whom we have shared the sword and have now recalibrated our relationship, was mooting the idea of removing this Borno governor, and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, had the courage to tell the President that, Your Excellency, you don't have the power to remove an elected councillor. The President was still not convinced. He mooted the idea at the Federal Executive Council. He told the then President that, Mr. President, you do not have the power to remove a sitting governor, not even a councillor. They sought for the opinion of another SAN in the cabinet, Kabiru Turaki, who said, I am concurring with the opinion of my senior colleague. That was how the matter was laid to rest, but that was how my relationship with Mr. Bello Adoke and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal became eternally sealed.